Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. This will be much more freeform. I'm going off of 6 bullet points on a Google Doc, and I'm going to be talking about the new Pokemon game, Pokemon Violet. Now, I was really hyped for Pokemon Violet. I still kind of am. I don't have the game because I'm saving up for a Steam Deck, because I'll give anything to play Team Fortress 2 on the go. And the recent criticism, recent reviews I've been seeing of Pokemon Violet don't frame it the best. Game Freak did not do a great job with this game. Well, I shouldn't say that. The gameplay itself, I've heard, is very fun. Like, exploring the world, running around, catching Pokemon, that's great. They did a great job on that. So, the gameplay itself, I guess, that's fine. They did a great job with their gameplay in the first big open world. But there is a ton of bugs and graphical glitches in the game. The game will just start running at slideshow rates. People just fly off into the distance. You're breaking your elbow if you clap. And, that's not particularly pleasant game. That's not a particularly pleasant game to play. Now, a lot of these have apparently been caused by memory leaks. And because of that, we can probably expect some official patch in the future. Which, how do you miss that? How do Q&A testers miss that? How did you as a developer miss that? But I'm not into game development. I don't know what it's like to, make a game. But this is the performance of a multi-billion-dollar company, the biggest media conglomerate in the world. Not conglomerate, that'd be the wrong word. The biggest franchise in the world. And this is the performance you're getting. Now, to be fair, and I'm coping real hard with this because I'm a huge Nintendo simp. Game Freak does have a lot of things in it. You have the anime, you have the merchandising, you have a trading card game, you have all of that stuff that the money has to split up into. But the game should probably be the priority, shouldn't it? That's what most people pay attention to. If a season of the anime isn't the best, people will be like, oh, okay, I guess next season will probably be better. If the game that you put out each year is bad, yeah, that doesn't look too great, I'm afraid. That's the thing most people pay attention to. That's the thing most people are in the franchise for, is the games. And I've been a firm believer for a long time that graphics don't make a game. And, again, the graphics of Scarlet Violet are pretty good, to be fair. It has a solid enough art style. The lighting, is a bit off, but overall the game does not look terrible. It looks fine. It's not Breath of the Wild, but again, Breath of the Wild is highly stylized. But no, it doesn't make a game. A game can be very fun and have bad graphics. If that weren't the case, I would not have loved Legends Arceus nearly as much. And yeah, the game is fun, ignoring all of the graphical bugs and glitches. And I'm gonna get real criticism-y of Game Freak here. Game Freak is big, alright? Game Freak is a huge company. I can't say how many developers they have, but as an overall company, Game Freak is pretty big. The Pokemon company is pretty big. They have a lot of money. They have a ton of money. And the fact that they did not pay a studio, one of the many studios, to optimize the game for them, because there are companies out there that will optimize games for people. That's what they do. They do optimization as their job. And, Game Freak does want to do it all in-house because it's, first-party Nintendo game, big Pokemon game, don't want to hand it off to anyone else. They didn't seem to have a problem with that with Diamond and Pearl, but whatever. Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, my mistake. But the complete lack and disregard for optimization and how the game runs is concerning. If you can't care enough to make your game look and present and run well on your hardware, you don't like that. But it could be a Switch issue. The Switch is 5 years old, coming up on 5 years old, 6 years old. It's coming up. It's old is the point. And yeah, hardware's slowly advancing. It's very speedily advancing. And the lack of a new Switch is starting to show its toll. Splatoon 3, which was an in-house Nintendo-developed game, which usually have great optimization and graphical care put into them, even that had some of the frame drops and resolution issues that Pokemon Scarlet Violet is having. And, like I also have to wonder on that note if how much Nintendo really has a say in what Game Freak does, because Nintendo's games this year have been greatly optimized. They've ran great on the Switch. They've looked great on the Switch. Yeah, you figured that they'd give their, Pokemon that same treatment. But I have to think Nintendo's really just a publisher for Game Freak, and they don't really have involvement aside from promotion and advertising and publishing. And Game Freak, just kind of does it all itself. Which would make sense. I mean, Game Freak, I think they have made games for different companies on different consoles. And different different games than Pokemon in general. And so it's just kind of weird to see such a big studio under Nintendo not given the same treatment that Nintendo gives its own games. I'm pretty sure Nintendo's just a publisher, just the means to the end. And that's kind of really where my rant ends. This should not have been a published game. This should not have been a game made. I highly doubt that this game was that this game was put through much Q&A testing. I don't if Nintendo even made them put it through Q&A testing. Man, open world games this year just haven't this console generation just haven't had a good run. Game Freak, just get better, please. We don't want I can appreciate you try something new. I did say that I'd rather have a bad game that tries something new than a mediocre game that does the same. Delay the next game, please.